Every conversation shapes your future. But are you being heard or ignored? The way you speak can open doors or close them forever. It's time to master the art of communication. Let's begin. The Art of Communication. Written and published by Audiobook. Introduction. Communication is the foundation of everything we do. It shapes our relationships, our careers, our lives. Yet most people struggle with it. Have you ever felt unheard? Have you ever spoken only to be misunderstood? Or worse, have you ever avoided a conversation out of fear? If so, you're not alone. What this audiobook will teach you. In this journey, we will unlock the secrets of powerful, persuasive, and purposeful communication. You will learn how to speak with confidence and clarity, how to listen in a way that makes people feel valued, how to handle conflict without fear or aggression, how to master nonverbal cues that speak louder than words. This isn't just about talking, it's about connecting. What you'll gain. By the end of this audiobook, you won't just be a better communicator. You will be a better leader, partner, and human being. Are you ready? Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Power of Words. Words shape the world. Every speech that has changed history, every story that has moved hearts, every conversation that has built love, trust, and connection. It all started with words. But words are more than just sounds or letters on a page. They are energy. They create emotions, ideas, and actions. Think about it. A single phrase can lift someone up or tear them down. A few words of encouragement can change a life. And a careless remark can leave a scar that lasts for years. This chapter is about unlocking the true power of words, how they shape reality, how they influence emotions, and how you can use them to transform your life and the lives of others. The hidden science behind words. Did you know that your brain responds to words the same way it responds to physical experiences? If someone tells you, "You're amazing," "I believe in you," your brain releases dopamine, the feel-good chemical. But if someone says, "You're a failure," "You'll never make it," your brain releases cortisol, the stress hormone. Words don't just communicate ideas. They create real, biological reactions. A study at the University of California found that negative words increase anxiety and reduce problem-solving ability. But positive words improve memory, creativity, and motivation. Think about that for a moment. The way you talk to yourself, the way you speak to others, it's not just words. It's programming your mind and theirs. The words you speak to yourself. Let's start with the most important conversation of all, the one you have with yourself. What do you say when you look in the mirror? What do you tell yourself when you fail? What's the voice inside your head saying right now? Most people don't realize this. The words you tell yourself shape your reality. They can be your greatest weapon or your biggest enemy. Listen to this carefully. If you keep saying, "I'm not good enough," you'll start believing it. If you keep thinking, "I always mess things up," your brain will find ways to prove it true. But if you start saying, "I am capable," "I am strong," "I am growing," your mind will begin to align with that reality. So, here's your first challenge. From this moment forward, be intentional with your words. Speak to yourself like you would speak to someone you love. Say with me now, "I am worthy. I am capable. I am becoming the best version of myself." Did you feel that shift? That's the power of words. The words you speak to others. Now, let's talk about the words you share with the world. Every day, you have a choice. Will your words build people up or break them down? Will you speak with kindness or with carelessness? Will your words inspire or destroy? Think back to a time when someone said something that changed you. Maybe it was a teacher who believed in you. Maybe it was a friend who encouraged you at your lowest point. Maybe it was a stranger who spoke kindness when you needed it most. Words can heal. Words can uplift. Words can change lives. Let's make this real. Imagine you're at a coffee shop. The barista looks exhausted. Most people won't even notice, but you do. Instead of just grabbing your coffee and walking away, you look them in the eyes and say, "Hey, I really appreciate you. I know it's a busy day, but you're doing an amazing job." At that moment, something shifts. A tired worker suddenly stands a little taller. A tough day becomes a little lighter. That's the power of a few simple words. And here's the truth. You never know whose life you might change with just one sentence. The power of tone, pacing, and delivery. But words alone are not enough. It's not just what you say, but how you say it. Let's take the phrase, "I appreciate you." Say it with a flat, emotionless tone, it loses impact. Say it with warmth, sincerity, and a pause, it becomes powerful. Your tone carries emotion. Your pacing controls attention. Your delivery determines impact. This is why great speakers, leaders, and storytellers master tone and rhythm. They don't just speak, they command presence. Listen to the difference. "I believe in you," said quickly and passively, versus "I believe in you," said with intention and a pause. One is just noise. The other makes you feel something. Want to be a powerful communicator? Start paying attention to how you speak, not just what you say. Real-life story. How words changed a life. Let's go back to 2008. A young man in his early 20s was struggling. He was on the verge of giving up, financially broke, mentally exhausted, ready to quit on his dreams. One day, a mentor sat him down and said these words, "Your story is not over. You have something special inside you. The world needs to hear your voice." That young man was Jay Shetty, who later became a best-selling author, motivational speaker, and one of the most influential voices of our time. It all started with words. Someone spoke belief into him, and it changed his life. Final takeaway: your words are a gift. So let me ask you, how will you speak to yourself from now on? How will you use your words to lift others? How will you choose your tone, your delivery, and your intention? Because words aren't just words. They are a gift,
A tool.
a power. And now you hold that power. Chapter 2. The Art of Listening. Most people hear, but few truly listen. Think about the last time you had a conversation. Did you really listen? Or were you just waiting for your turn to speak? In a world filled with noise, listening has become a lost art. Yet, it's the foundation of every great relationship, every successful leader, and every meaningful conversation. When you truly listen, you build trust. You gain respect. You understand people at a deeper level. Listening is not a passive act. It is an active skill, one that can change your life if mastered. In this chapter, we will unlock the secrets of deep listening and how it can transform your relationships, your career, and your ability to connect with others on a profound level. The difference between hearing and listening. There's a big difference between hearing and listening. Hearing is automatic. Listening is intentional. Hearing is when someone talks and your ears pick up the sound. Listening is when you fully engage, process, and understand the message behind the words. Let's test this right now. Think about a recent conversation you had. Can you recall exactly what the other person said? Or do you only remember bits and pieces? Most people listen with one goal, to reply. But great communicators listen with one goal, to understand. Why most people struggle to listen? There are 3 main reasons why most people fail at listening.
1.
Internal distractions. Your mind is racing. You're thinking about your to-do list, your next move, or your own thoughts. Meanwhile, the person speaking is just background noise.
2.
The urge to respond. You're not truly absorbing their words. You're just waiting for your turn to speak.
3.
Lack of presence. You're half in the conversation and half on your phone. Your eyes are there, but your mind is somewhere else. Sound familiar? If so, don't worry. Listening is a skill, which means it can be learned and improved. And once you master it, people will see you differently. They will trust you. They will feel heard. And they will open up in ways you never expected. The science of listening, how it changes relationships. When someone listens to us, we feel valued. Studies show that feeling heard activates the same parts of the brain as receiving a reward. It releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone that creates deep emotional connections. This is why great listeners attract people to them. It's why leaders, therapists, and highly respected individuals all have one thing in common. They listen more than they speak. Want stronger relationships? Listen. Want to be more influential? Listen. Want to make people feel truly understood? Listen. The power of silence. Here's something most people don't realize. Silence is a superpower. Most people fear silence. They rush to fill it with words. They interrupt. They speak just to speak. But the best communicators, they embrace silence.
Why?
Because silence allows the other person to think, reflect, and reveal their true thoughts. Next time you're in a conversation, try this. When the other person stops speaking, instead of jumping in, pause for 3 seconds. You'll be amazed. Most of the time, they will continue talking, and that's when the real truth comes out. Silence makes people open up. Use it wisely. The 5 levels of listening. There are different levels of listening. Which level are you at right now?
1.
Ignoring. You're physically present but mentally absent. You pretend to listen, but your mind is somewhere else.
2.
Fake listening. You nod, say, uh-huh, and look engaged, but you're not actually processing what's being said.
3.
Selective listening. You only hear the parts that interest you and ignore the rest.
4.
Active listening. You focus. You engage. You reflect on what's being said.
5.
Empathetic listening. You don't just hear their words. You feel their emotions. You put yourself in their shoes. The highest level, empathetic listening, is where real connection happens. It's where trust is built. It's where relationships deepen. And it's rare. How to become an exceptional listener. So, how do you go from being a passive listener to a master of deep listening? Here are 3 powerful techniques.
1.
The 3-second rule. When someone finishes speaking, wait 3 seconds before responding. This forces you to truly absorb their words before reacting.
2.
The tell me more technique. Instead of giving quick responses, say, "That's interesting. Tell me more about that." It shows you care. It makes people feel heard. 3. Repeat and reflect. When someone shares something, repeat a key part of what they said before responding. For example, "So you're saying that this situation made you feel frustrated and unheard? I can understand why." This validates their emotions and deepens the conversation. Try these techniques today. Watch how people start opening up to you in ways they never did before. The listening test. How good are you? Want to know how strong your listening skills are? Ask yourself these questions. Do people feel comfortable opening up to me? Do I remember small details from conversations? Do I ask thoughtful follow-up questions? Do I give people my full attention, or am I often distracted? If you struggled with these, it's time to level up your listening. Real-life story. How listening saved a life. A man once stood on the Golden Gate Bridge, ready to jump. In his suicide note, he wrote, "If just one person smiles at me or asks how I'm doing, I won't do it." That day, someone stopped. They asked him how he was feeling. They listened, really listened, and that conversation saved his life. Never underestimate the power of making someone feel heard. It can be the difference between hope and despair. Final takeaway, your new superpower. Listening is a superpower. It builds relationships. It deepens trust. It makes people feel valued, respected, and understood. So let's make this a habit. Today, when someone speaks, give them your full attention. Listen not just with your ears, but with your heart. Because when you master the art of listening, you become a person people trust, respect, and remember. Chapter 3. Confidence in Conversations. Your voice matters. But how often do you hold back? How many times have you wanted to say something, only to stay silent out of fear? Fear of being judged. Fear of saying the wrong thing. Fear of not being heard. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Millions of people struggle with speaking up with confidence. But here's the truth. Confidence is not something you're born with. It's a skill, one that can be learned, trained, and strengthened. In this chapter, we're going to unlock the secrets of powerful, confident speaking. So you can express yourself without fear. So you can be heard. So you can own your voice. Why do people fear speaking up? Have you ever wondered why some people seem to own every conversation, while others struggle to find their voice? It all comes down to one thing:
Fear.
But where does that fear come from? Let's break it down.
1.
Fear of judgment. What if they think I sound stupid? What if I embarrass myself? This fear holds so many people back.
2.
Fear of conflict. Many people avoid speaking up because they hate confrontation. They'd rather stay silent than risk upsetting someone.
3.
Fear of saying the wrong thing. You overthink your words. You second-guess yourself. And by the time you finally figure out what to say, the moment has passed. Sound familiar? If so, don't worry. Because here's the good news. Confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about trusting yourself, even when you don't have all the answers. And by the end of this chapter, you will know exactly how to do that. The truth about confidence. Most people think confidence is something you either have or don't have. But that's a lie. Confidence is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. And just like going to the gym, building confidence starts with small wins. Every time you speak up, even in small ways, you're training yourself to be bolder. Here's the secret. The people who seem the most confident, they weren't always that way. They just practiced more than others. So let's start training that muscle today. The confidence loop technique. There's a simple but powerful formula for building confidence in conversations. I call it the confidence loop. Action, proof, belief, more action. Let's break it down. Action. You push yourself to speak up. Proof. You realize nothing bad happened. Belief. You start trusting yourself more. More action. Because you believe in yourself, you take even bigger steps. The more times you complete this loop, the easier it becomes to speak up. So let's take the first step. Right now, make a decision to use your voice today, even in a small way, even if it's just asking a question in a meeting or complimenting a stranger. Every action builds momentum. Every small step rewires your brain for confidence. The role of body language in confidence. Did you know that your body language affects how confident you feel? Here's a fascinating fact. Studies show that standing tall with open posture for just 2 minutes can increase testosterone, the confidence hormone, and decrease cortisol, the stress hormone. In other words, if you stand like a confident person, you start to feel like one. Try this now. Straighten your spine, lift your chin, uncross your arms, and open your stance. Feel the difference? Your body and mind are connected. Want to feel more confident when speaking? Start with your posture. How to speak with authority. Now that we've covered confidence, let's talk about how to make your words impactful. Have you ever noticed how some people's words carry weight? How some people command attention when they speak? It's not an accident. They follow 3 key principles.
1.
Speak slowly. Nervous people rush their words. Confident people control their pace. Slow down. Pause between thoughts. Give your words time to land.
2.
Lower your tone. A deeper, more grounded voice equals more authority. You don't need to fake it. Just breathe deeply and let your voice settle.
3,
Own your space. Don't shrink yourself. Use gestures. Use eye contact. Use silence as a tool. Confidence isn't just in your words. It's in your presence. The power of reframing your mindset. If you struggle with self-doubt, try this. Instead of thinking, "What if I say the wrong thing?" reframe it to, "What if I say something that helps someone?" Instead of, "What if they judge me?" think, "What if they respect me for speaking up?" Your thoughts create your reality. Shift your mindset and your confidence will follow. Real life story. How confidence changed a life. Let's go back to 2012. A young woman named Michelle Poehler had extreme social anxiety. She was terrified of speaking up. She avoided conversations. She stayed silent even when she had something to say. But one day, she made a decision. She would face her fears one by one. She started by speaking up in small moments. Then, she challenged herself to speak in public. Eventually, she became a professional speaker, inspiring millions worldwide. And it all started with one decision to use her voice. Now, she teaches others how to break free from fear and own their confidence. If she can do it, so can you. Final takeaway: own your voice. Confidence isn't about being fearless. It's about taking action despite fear. It's about trusting your voice. It's about knowing that what you say matters. So, let's make a commitment right now. You will speak up today. You will own your space. You will trust yourself. Because your voice deserves to be heard. Chapter 4. Mastering Difficult Conversations. Difficult conversations are unavoidable. At some point, you will have to confront someone who hurt you, address a problem at work, end a relationship, say no when it's uncomfortable. Most people fear these conversations. They avoid them. They let issues build up until they explode. But here's the truth. Avoiding hard conversations doesn't solve problems, it makes them worse. Great communicators don't run from tough discussions. They face them with confidence, clarity, and emotional control. And by the end of this chapter, you'll know exactly how to do the same. Why are difficult conversations so hard? What makes tough conversations feel so scary? It comes down to 3 fears.
1,
Fear of conflict. You don't want to upset someone. You don't want to deal with anger or tension.
2,
Fear of rejection. You worry that the other person will shut down, or worse, walk away from you entirely. 3, Fear of saying the wrong thing. You don't want to make the situation worse. So instead, you say nothing at all. Sound familiar? If so, don't worry. Because once you learn the right approach, difficult conversations become easier, smoother, and more productive. The number 1 rule for difficult conversations: stay calm. Here's the golden rule. Emotions must be managed before words can be effective. Think about the last time you had a heated argument. Did you really listen? Or were you just reacting? When emotions take over, logic shuts down. That's why staying calm is the first step to handling tough conversations effectively. Try this before any difficult conversation. Pause and breathe. Take a deep breath in, hold, then exhale slowly. Detach from your emotions. Imagine stepping outside yourself, observing the situation like an outsider. Set an intention. Ask yourself, what is my goal? Am I here to argue or to resolve? If you enter a conversation calm and collected, you set the tone for the entire discussion. The 3-step framework for tough conversations. Want a foolproof method for handling any difficult conversation? Follow these 3 steps. Step 1. Start with understanding. Most people begin a tough conversation by attacking. This triggers defensiveness, which shuts down real communication. Instead, start by showing understanding. Example. Instead of saying, "You never listen to me," "You don't care." Try, "I know you've been really busy, and I appreciate all you do. But I've been feeling unheard, and I'd love to talk about it. See the difference? When you lead with understanding, the other person is more open to listening. Step 2. Clearly express your feelings. Now that you've set a positive tone, it's time to express your truth. But how you say it matters. Use I statements instead of you statements. You always ignore me. Attacks, triggers defensiveness. I feel unheard when you interrupt me. Takes ownership, invites discussion. Own your feelings. Be clear and direct without blaming. Step 3. End with a solution. Most difficult conversations fail because they focus on problems, not solutions. Instead of just venting, end with a clear request. Ask yourself, what do I want to happen next? Then say it clearly. Example. Problem. I feel unappreciated in our relationship. Solution. Can we make an effort to check in with each other more? Problem. This project is overwhelming me. Solution. Could we redistribute some of the workload? Difficult conversations shouldn't end in confusion. They should end with a clear action step. How to handle conflict without fear. Even when you handle things well, some people will react emotionally. They might get defensive. They might raise their voice. Here's how to handle that without losing your cool.
1. Don't match their energy.
If they raise their voice, you lower yours. If they rush to speak, you slow down. Your calmness forces them to mirror you.
2.
Use the repeat and reflect technique. When someone is upset, they need to feel heard. Before responding, repeat what they just said in your own words. Example. So what I hear you saying is you feel like I don't appreciate your effort. Is that right? This makes them feel understood and lowers their defensiveness.
3.
Don't take it personally. When someone reacts with anger, it's not about you. It's about their emotions, their stress, their struggles. Stay grounded. Stay in control. When you do, you'll handle conflicts better than 99% of people. Real-life story, a conflict that turned into connection. In 2018, a CEO was about to fire one of his employees. The employee had been missing deadlines, making mistakes, and causing frustration. But instead of attacking him, the CEO asked a simple question. Is everything okay? I've noticed you've been struggling lately. The employee broke down. He revealed he was going through a divorce and was barely holding it together. Instead of firing him, the CEO offered support. They worked together to find solutions, and the employee turned his performance around completely. A difficult conversation became a life-changing moment. All because someone chose to listen instead of just react. Final takeaway, your new approach to difficult conversations. Difficult conversations aren't battles. They're opportunities. Opportunities to build trust. Opportunities to deepen relationships. Opportunities to resolve problems instead of avoiding them. So, let's commit to a new approach. Stay calm. Use the 3-step framework. Listen before reacting. Because when you master difficult conversations, you gain a superpower that will transform every part of your life. Chapter 5. The Science of Persuasion. Persuasion is power. Not power in a manipulative way, but power to influence, inspire, and lead. Think about it. Every great leader mastered persuasion. Every successful entrepreneur knows how to influence. Every meaningful change in history started with a persuasive message. Whether you're selling an idea, asking for a raise, or motivating someone, your ability to persuade will determine your success. In this chapter, we're going to unlock the science of persuasion. How to get people to say yes without force, pressure, or manipulation. Let's dive in. What makes people say yes? What actually makes someone agree with you? It's not logic. It's psychology. Dr. Robert Cialdini, a world-renowned psychologist, discovered that people are influenced by 6 key principles. Master these, and you'll be able to persuade anyone. Let's break them down. The 6 principles of persuasion.
1.
Reciprocity. Give before you ask. People naturally want to return favors. If you give value first, people feel compelled to give back. Example. Give a free sample and people feel more inclined to buy. Offer help at work, and your colleagues will support you in return. Compliment someone sincerely, and they'll see you more positively. Want to be more persuasive? Give first.
2.
Social proof. Show that others believe it. People follow what others are doing. If they see others agreeing with you, they will too. Example. 9 out of 10 doctors recommend this. Instant credibility. A restaurant with a long line? Must be good. More followers, more likes? People assume you're an authority. The takeaway? Show proof that others trust you. 3. Authority. Establish credibility. We trust experts. If you position yourself as an authority, people will listen. Example. A doctor in a white coat? Instant credibility. A CEO speaking about business? Respected automatically. A personal trainer with a great physique? People take their advice seriously. Want people to take you seriously? Demonstrate expertise. Even if you're not a professional, present yourself with confidence and knowledge.
4.
Commitment and consistency. Make small yes first. People like to stay consistent with their past actions. If you get them to say yes to something small, they're more likely to say yes to something bigger later. Example. If a friend agrees to help you move a box, they're more likely to help you move furniture later. If someone signs a small petition, they're more likely to donate later. If a customer tries a free product, they're more likely to buy the full version. Want to persuade? Start with a small yes.
5.
Liking. People say yes to those they like. We are more likely to agree with people we like and trust. How to be more likable? Find common ground.
People like those who are similar to them.
Give genuine compliments. Make people feel valued. Smile and show warmth. People respond to positive energy. Want to persuade someone? First, build a connection. 6. Scarcity. Create a sense of urgency. People value what is rare or limited. Example. Only 2 seats left. Creates urgency. Exclusive offer for today only. Triggers FOMO, fear of missing out. This opportunity won't last forever. Pushes action. Want people to act fast? Create a sense of urgency. The secret weapon of persuasion, emotional connection. Here's something most people miss. People don't make decisions based on logic. They decide based on emotion, then justify with logic. If you can make someone feel something, you can persuade them. How to create emotional connection? Tell stories. Stories activate emotion more than facts. Use vivid language. Instead of, it's good, say, it's life-changing. Make it personal. Help them see how it benefits them. If you want to truly persuade, appeal to emotion first, logic second. Real-life story. How persuasion changed the world. Let's go back to 1963. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. stood in front of 250,000 people and delivered one of the most powerful speeches in history. I have a dream. He didn't say, I have a plan. He didn't say, here's my strategy. He spoke to emotion. He painted a vision, and people followed. That's real persuasion. The ability to inspire action with words. How to apply this in your life. Persuasion isn't just for leaders and public speakers. It's a skill you can use every day. Want a raise? Use authority and commitment principles. Want to sell something? Use reciprocity and social proof. Want to influence your kids? Use emotional connection and consistency. Master persuasion. And you master communication. Final takeaway. Your persuasion formula. Want to influence people ethically and effectively? Follow this simple formula. Connect emotionally. Make them feel something. Demonstrate credibility. Show why they should trust you. Use social proof. People follow others. Make it easy to say yes. Start with a small commitment. Create urgency. Give a reason to act now. This is how you persuade with integrity. This is how you become a leader in any conversation. Chapter 6: The Power of Body Language. Your body speaks before you say a single word. The way you stand, the way you move, the way you hold your eye contact. It all sends powerful messages, whether you realize it or not. In fact, studies show that over 55% of communication is nonverbal. That means you can say all the right words, but if your body language is weak, your message loses power. You can influence people without speaking, just by how you carry yourself. You can instantly gain or lose respect based on your posture, gestures, and expressions. Master body language, and you master communication. In this chapter, we'll unlock the hidden secrets of nonverbal communication so you can command presence, build trust, and influence people effortlessly. The silent signals, what your body is saying. Right now, as you're listening, how are you sitting? Are your shoulders open or closed? Are your arms crossed or relaxed? Are you leaning forward or slouching? Because, whether you realize it or not, your body is sending a message. And the people around you, they're picking up on it. Let's break down the most powerful body language cues so you can start using them to your advantage.
1.
Posture, the foundation of confidence. Want to look and feel more confident instantly? Fix your posture. Science shows that standing tall and open increases testosterone, the confidence hormone, and decreases cortisol, the stress hormone. Try this right now. Straighten your spine. Pull your shoulders back slightly.
Keep your chin up.
Notice how different you feel? This isn't just about appearances. Your body affects your mind. When you stand with confidence, you start to feel confident. Use this before a big meeting, a date, or any high-stakes conversation. It's a game changer.
2.
Eye contact, the ultimate trust builder. Eyes communicate more than words ever could. Too little eye contact? You seem nervous or dishonest. Too much eye contact? You come off as aggressive. The right balance? You build trust and connection. The 60 to 70% rule. Aim to maintain eye contact 60 to 70% of the time during a conversation. This keeps you engaging but not intimidating. And if holding eye contact feels uncomfortable, look between their eyes. They won't notice the difference, but you'll feel less pressure. Want to make someone feel truly heard? Give them your full, focused eye contact.
3.
Hand gestures. Speak with your hands. Great speakers don't just talk. They use their hands to amplify their words. Hand gestures help. Make your message more engaging. Show confidence and passion. Help people remember what you say. Examples of powerful gestures. Open palms equals honesty and trust. Use this when explaining ideas. Steepling fingers equals authority and confidence. Politicians and CEOs use this often. Hand movements that match your words equals charismatic speaking. Think of TED Talk speakers. Want to seem more engaging? Use your hands to reinforce your words.
4.
Mirroring, the subconscious connection trick. Want someone to like you more instantly? Mirror their body language. When you subtly match someone's posture, gestures, and tone, their brain subconsciously thinks, "This person is like me. I trust them." How to use mirroring. If they lean forward slightly. If they use hand gestures, use yours too. If they slow their speech, adjust your pace. Warning, don't overdo it. The key is subtle mirroring, not copying. Try this in your next conversation, and watch how quickly people warm up to you.
5.
The power of space. Own your presence. Ever noticed how powerful people take up space? They don't shrink. They don't fidget. They own their presence. Confident people stand with feet shoulder-width apart. They don't cross their arms defensively. They use open gestures instead of closed-off movements. Want to command respect? Take up space. What not to do? Shrink yourself. Cross your arms in a defensive posture. Look down while speaking. Your presence sets the tone before you even speak. Make it strong. Real-life story. The body language that changed an election. In 1960, the first ever televised presidential debate happened between John F. Kennedy and Richard Nixon. What happened? Kennedy stood tall, confident, and relaxed. Nixon looked sweaty, nervous, and stiff. The result? People who watched the debate said Kennedy won. People who only listened on the radio thought Nixon won. It wasn't the words that made the impact. It was body language. That's how powerful nonverbal communication is. It can decide elections, promotions, and relationships. Use it wisely. How to apply this in your life? Want to instantly improve your communication? Start with these 5 body language hacks. Fix your posture. Stand tall, shoulders back, chin up. Maintain strong eye contact. Aim for 60 to 70%. Use hand gestures naturally. Speak with your hands. Mirror the person subtly. Build instant rapport. Own your space. Don't shrink. Stand with confidence. These small adjustments will transform how people see you. Final takeaway. Your body is your superpower. People judge you before you even speak. So let's make sure you send the right message. Stand with confidence. Use eye contact to build trust. Speak with your hands to engage people. Mirror to connect deeply. Own your space like a leader, because when you master body language, you command presence, influence, and respect without saying a word. Chapter 7. The Art of Storytelling. Facts inform, but stories inspire. Have you ever noticed how the best speakers, leaders, and influencers don't just give information? They tell stories that make you feel something. A great story can captivate an audience, make your message unforgettable, move people to action. Whether you want to be a better leader, speaker, or simply connect more deeply with others, mastering storytelling is the key. In this chapter, we're going to break down the science of storytelling, how to craft stories that engage, persuade, and inspire. Why are stories so powerful? Science shows that when we hear facts, only the language processing parts of the brain activate. But when we hear a story, something incredible happens. Our emotions activate. Our memory centers engage. We feel connected to the storyteller. That's why you can forget a speech, but remember a powerful story for years. Stories don't just share information. They make people feel. And emotion drives action. The 3-act storytelling formula. Every great story, whether it's a Hollywood movie or a personal anecdote, follows the same 3-act structure. Want to tell engaging stories? Use this simple framework.
1.
The setup, beginning. Introduce the character and situation. Create curiosity. Why should the listener care? Hint at a challenge or problem. Example. There was a time in my life when I was terrified of public speaking. My hands would sweat, my heart would race, and every time I stood in front of an audience, I felt like running away. Immediately, the audience is engaged. They relate to the fear. They want to know what happens next.
2.
The struggle, middle. Introduce the challenge or conflict. Make it personal and emotional. Show the journey of overcoming it. Example. One day, I had no choice. My boss told me I had to present in front of 100 people. I panicked. But instead of running, I made a decision I was going to face my fear. I practiced every night. I studied the best speakers. And when the day came, I took a deep breath and stepped onto the stage. At this moment, the listener is hooked. They're emotionally invested. They're feeling the tension with you.
3.
The resolution end. Show the lesson or transformation. Deliver a powerful takeaway. End with impact. Example: I didn't give a perfect speech, but I did it. And that moment changed my life. I realized that confidence isn't about being fearless, it's about acting despite the fear. And if I could do it, anyone can. A great resolution leaves people inspired and gives them something to remember. The secret ingredient: emotion. Want to make people remember your story? Make them feel. Use vivid language. My heart was racing. Describe sensory details. The lights were blinding. My hands were ice cold. Pause for impact. And in that moment, everything changed. The best stories aren't just told, they're felt. How to make any story more engaging. Here are 3 simple tricks to instantly level up your storytelling.
1.
Start with a hook. The first sentence should grab attention immediately. Weak. Today I want to talk about overcoming fear. Strong. I once had a panic attack 5 minutes before going on stage. Curiosity pulls people in.
2.
Use the what happened next. Effect. Great stories build suspense. Instead of giving the conclusion too soon, let the audience wonder, what's going to happen? Example: as I stood backstage, my hands were shaking. The moment was here. I had 2 choices: run or face my fear. The listener is hooked. They need to hear the rest.
3.
End with a clear takeaway. Every great story leaves a lasting message. What's the lesson? What should the listener take away? How does it apply to their life? Example: the lesson? The fear never fully goes away, but the only way to grow is to step into it. A strong ending makes your story unforgettable. Real-life story: how storytelling changed a business. In 2009, Steve Jobs introduced the first iPad. He could have listed its technical specs. He could have just talked about its features. But instead, he told a story. He painted a picture of how this small, sleek device would change people's lives. How it would allow them to read, create, and connect in ways never seen before. That story? It sold millions. Because great storytelling doesn't just sell products, it creates movements. How to apply this in your life? You don't need to be a public speaker to use storytelling. You can use it every day. At work, want to convince your team of an idea? Use a story. In relationships, want to connect deeper with someone? Share personal stories. In leadership, want to inspire action? Make people feel through storytelling. Mastering stories equals mastering influence. Final takeaway: storytelling is your superpower. Great communicators don't just share information. They make people feel, connect, and remember. So let's commit to this. Start with a strong hook. Create emotional moments. Build suspense. End with a clear takeaway. Because the next time you speak, you don't just want people to listen. You want them to remember. Chapter 8: Handling Criticism and Difficult Feedback. Criticism is inevitable. No matter how good you are, no matter how much effort you put in, someone will always have something to say. A boss giving you tough feedback. A stranger leaving a negative comment. A friend or family member questioning your choices. Most people fear criticism. They take it personally. They let it destroy their confidence. But here's the truth. Criticism is not the enemy. It's an opportunity. The best communicators? They don't avoid feedback. They use it to grow. In this chapter, we're going to break down how to handle criticism without taking it personally, how to filter useful feedback from pointless negativity, how to respond with grace, confidence, and power. Because when you learn to master criticism, nothing can shake you. Why does criticism feel so painful? Let's be honest. Hearing negative feedback hurts. Your brain sees criticism as a threat. Studies show that criticism triggers the same brain regions as physical pain. That's why a single negative comment can feel 10x stronger than a compliment. Even minor feedback can trigger defensiveness or self-doubt. We tend to focus on the one negative review even if we have 100 positive ones. But here's the secret. Criticism only has power over you if you let it. Once you understand how to process and respond to it the right way, you'll never fear feedback again. The 3 types of criticism and how to handle each one. Not all criticism is created equal. Some feedback is useful, some is useless, and some is just toxic. Let's break them down.
1.
Constructive criticism. Use it to grow. This is the best kind of feedback. It's meant to help you improve. Examples. A mentor giving you advice on how to get better. A coach pointing out mistakes so you can fix them. A boss giving direct but fair feedback. How to handle it. Listen with an open mind. Don't get defensive. Ask clarifying questions. How can I improve in this area? Thank them for their insight. Even if the feedback stings, remember, it's not an attack. It's an opportunity. Use it to level up.
2.
Unfair or useless criticism. Filter it out. Some criticism isn't helpful. It's vague. It's based on opinions, not facts. It offers no solution or improvement. Example. I just don't like your work. Okay, but why? You're not good enough. Says who? Based on what? That's just dumb. No real feedback, just negativity. How to handle it? Ask yourself, is this feedback useful? If not, let it go. Don't waste energy defending yourself against vague, meaningless criticism. You don't have to take advice from people who haven't done what you're trying to do. Choose wisely who you listen to.
3.
Hateful or toxic criticism. Ignore and protect your energy. Some criticism is pure negativity. Online hate, personal attacks, people who criticize just to bring you down. Example. You'll never succeed. You're a failure. You're just terrible at everything. These comments, they say more about the person giving them than about you. How to handle it? Don't engage. Negative people want a reaction. Don't give them one. Don't let it sink in. Their words don't define you. Protect your mindset. Surround yourself with people who lift you up. The most successful people in the world, they all have haters. Not because they're bad, but because they're doing something that matters. The higher you rise, the more critics will show up. Ignore them. Keep going. The pause and process method. Responding to criticism like a pro. Before reacting to criticism, do this one simple thing.
Pause. Take a breath.
Process before responding. Most people react emotionally to criticism. They get defensive, argue, or shut down. But strong communicators pause and think. Is this useful? Is there truth in this? How do I want to respond? Once you've processed it, you can choose how to respond with confidence. How to respond to criticism, word-for-word scripts. Here are exact phrases you can use to handle criticism like a leader. 4. Constructive criticism. Thank you for your feedback. I really appreciate the insight. I'll use it to improve. 4. Unfair criticism. I appreciate your perspective, but I'd love to hear specific suggestions for improvement. 4. Toxic criticism. I'm not open to negativity. If you have constructive feedback, I'd be happy to hear it. Your response sets the tone. Stay calm, collected, and in control. Real-life story. How Oprah Winfrey handled criticism. In her early career, Oprah Winfrey was told she wasn't fit for television. A news producer fired her, saying she was too emotional to be a news anchor. Most people would have let that criticism destroy them. But Oprah? She used it as fuel. She realized that her empathy and emotion were her biggest strengths. She didn't try to fit the mold. She created her own.
And today?
She's one of the most successful and influential people in the world. Because she didn't let criticism define her. She used it to rise. How to apply this in your life? Next time you receive criticism, do this.
Pause.
Don't react emotionally. Filter. Ask, is this useful or useless? Respond wisely. Thank helpful critics. Ignore toxic ones. Use it to grow. Take what helps you, let go of the rest. Because criticism doesn't define you. Your response does. Final takeaway. You are in control. The world will always have critics. But you control how you respond. Use constructive criticism to improve. Ignore pointless negativity. Stay confident in who you are. Because when you stop fearing criticism, nothing can stop you. Chapter 9. The Power of Assertive Communication. Being assertive is not about being aggressive. It's about expressing yourself with confidence, clarity, and respect. Think about it. Have you ever agreed to something you didn't want just to avoid conflict? Have you ever held back your thoughts because you were afraid of how others might react? Have you ever been too aggressive and later regretted how you handled a conversation? If so, don't worry. Most people struggle to find the balance between passive, aggressive, and assertive communication. But here's the truth. Being assertive is a skill, and once you master it, you will. Speak up without fear. Set boundaries without guilt. Gain respect from others without being rude. In this chapter, we'll break down exactly how to communicate assertively. Because when you learn to stand your ground with confidence, you become unstoppable. The 3 communication styles, which one are you? Before we dive into assertiveness, let's identify where you currently stand. Most people fall into one of 3 categories.
1.
Passive communication, avoiding conflict. You avoid confrontation at all costs. You struggle to say no. You let others speak over you. You feel unheard or taken advantage of. Example. Your friend asks you for a favor, but you're overwhelmed. Instead of saying no, you agree and end up feeling resentful. Why it's a problem? People don't respect your boundaries. You bottle up frustration, which can explode later. You lose confidence in your own voice.
2.
Aggressive communication, pushing too hard. You dominate conversations. You express your opinions forcefully. You might raise your voice or interrupt others. People see you as intimidating or rude. Example. You disagree with someone, and instead of calmly stating your opinion, you attack their perspective or raise your voice. Why it's a problem? People resist your ideas instead of embracing them. You create unnecessary conflict. You damage relationships.
3.
Assertive communication, the perfect balance. You express yourself clearly and firmly without disrespecting others. You stand your ground but stay calm and respectful. You can say no without guilt. People see you as confident, fair, and trustworthy. Example. Your coworker asks you to take on extra work. Instead of saying yes out of obligation or snapping in frustration, you say, I appreciate you thinking of me, but I have a full workload right now. I won't be able to take this on. Why this works? It's clear. You state your position. It's respectful. You appreciate their request. It's firm. You don't apologize or back down. This is the power of assertive communication. And by the end of this chapter, you'll know exactly how to do it. The 4 pillars of assertive communication. Want to become more assertive? Use these 4 powerful techniques in every conversation.
1.
The I statement method, own your words. One of the biggest mistakes in communication? Blaming others instead of owning your feelings. Aggressive. You never listen to me. Assertive. I feel unheard when I don't get a chance to share my thoughts. Passive. It's okay, I guess I'll do it. Assertive. I can't take this on right now. Why this works? It removes blame. People don't get defensive. It focuses on your experience. Others can't argue with how you feel. Try this in your next conversation. You'll see an instant shift.
2.
The broken record technique. Stay firm without fighting. Ever had someone push your boundaries? A friend keeps asking for favors. A boss pressures you to stay late. A salesperson won't take no for an answer. Here's how to stay assertive without escalating conflict. Simply repeat your boundary, calmly and confidently. Example: I understand, but I won't be able to do that. I get where you're coming from, but my decision is final. I appreciate the offer, but I'm not interested. You don't need to argue. You don't need to explain yourself endlessly. Just repeat your boundary until they stop pushing. And they will stop because they see you're firm.
3.
The power of saying no without feeling guilty. Many people struggle to say no. But saying no doesn't make you selfish. It makes you respect your own time and energy. Bad way to say no. I'm not sure, maybe, let me see. Sounds uncertain. Assertive way to say no. I appreciate the offer, but I won't be able to. That doesn't work for me right now. I have to decline, but thank you for thinking of me. You don't need an excuse. You don't need to over-explain. A clear, polite no is all you need.
4.
Controlling your tone and body language. Assertiveness isn't just what you say, it's how you say it. Keep a steady tone. Not too soft, not too aggressive. Make eye contact. Shows confidence. Stand tall. Open posture equals strong presence. Use slow, deliberate speech. People respect those who don't rush their words. Want to instantly be taken more seriously? Adjust your body language. When you look confident, people treat you with more respect. Real-life story: how assertive communication changed a career. Meet Sarah. For years, she struggled with being too passive at work. She took on extra tasks, even when overwhelmed. She rarely spoke up in meetings. She felt stuck and unheard. One day, she decided to change her approach. She practiced saying no. She spoke up more in meetings. She stood her ground in conversations. The result? She gained more respect from her team. She got a promotion within months. She felt more confident than ever. And it all started with learning to communicate assertively. You can do the same. How to apply this in your life? Starting today, speak up instead of staying silent. Use I statements instead of blaming. Say no without guilt. Hold your ground when people push your boundaries. Adjust your body language to reflect confidence. Because the moment you own your voice, people will start listening. Final takeaway: you deserve to be heard. Assertiveness isn't about being rude. It's about being clear, strong, and respected. So, let's commit to this. No more apologizing for speaking up. No more saying yes when you mean no. No more shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. Your voice matters. Use it with confidence. Chapter 10: Mastering Conversations in Any Situation. Great conversations don't happen by accident. Some people make every interaction feel effortless. They connect instantly. They leave a lasting impression. But others? They struggle. They feel awkward, unsure of what to say, or afraid of saying the wrong thing. So, what's the difference? Great conversationalists understand the psychology of human connection. They know how to read people, adapt, and navigate any situation. They use specific techniques to keep conversations flowing naturally. The good news? Anyone can learn these skills. And in this chapter, you're going to discover how to start conversations effortlessly, how to keep people engaged and interested, how to handle awkward silences like a pro, how to navigate tough or emotional conversations. Because when you master conversations, you unlock limitless opportunities in every area of life. The 5 key elements of a great conversation. Every great conversation has 5 essential elements. Master these, and you'll never struggle with social interactions again.
1.
The art of starting a conversation effortlessly. The hardest part of any conversation? Getting started. Many people overthink this. What if they don't want to talk? What if I say something weird? What if I run out of things to say? The truth? People love talking to someone who makes them feel comfortable and interesting. How to start any conversation naturally. Use a simple, friendly opener. Hey, how's your day going? I love your jacket. Where did you get it? What's the best part of your day so far? Start with observation.
Look around.
What's happening? Use it to open the conversation. This place has a great vibe, don't you think? Wow, the line here is longer than I expected. Ask for an opinion. People love sharing their thoughts. I need your expert advice. Coffee or tea? Have you read anything interesting lately? The secret? It doesn't matter what you say. It matters that you say something and start the flow. Once the conversation begins, it becomes easy.
2.
The secret to keeping conversations flowing. Ever had a conversation die out awkwardly? That's because one of the biggest mistakes people make is asking dead-end questions. Bad. How was your weekend? Good. End of conversation. Better. What is the best part of your weekend? Oh, I went on a hiking trip. It was amazing. See the difference? To keep conversations alive, use open-ended questions. Instead of, did you like the movie? Ask, what was your favorite part of the movie? Instead of, how's work? Ask, what's the most interesting thing happening at work right now? Instead of, how was your day? Ask, what made you smile today? Pro tip. When they answer, build on what they say. Them. I just got back from a trip to Italy.
You. Wow.
What was the highlight of your trip? The goal? Keep the conversation flowing naturally.
3.
How to make people feel instantly comfortable. Ever notice how some people make you feel at ease right away? They don't just talk, they listen. They make you feel valued and understood. Here's how you can do the same. Give them your full attention. No distractions, no checking your phone. Use their name. People love hearing their own name. It builds instant rapport. Mirror their energy. Match their tone, speed, and enthusiasm to create connection. Use humor when appropriate. A lighthearted joke can ease tension instantly. The goal? Make them feel like they matter. Because the truth is, people don't remember what you say. They remember how you made them feel.
4.
How to handle awkward silences. Silence doesn't have to be awkward. The best conversationalists embrace pauses. They don't panic. But if you ever feel stuck, here's what to do. Use the reflection trick. Repeat part of what they just said. I just got back from a road trip. You. A road trip? That sounds amazing. Where did you go? Shift the topic. If a conversation dies, smoothly transition. By the way, have you ever tried surfing? I just remembered something funny. Can I tell you? Share something personal. People feel more comfortable when you open up. I have the worst sense of direction. I get lost on a road trip. That reminds me of a crazy trip I took once. The key? Stay relaxed. Silence is only awkward if you make it awkward.
5.
Navigating difficult or emotional conversations. Not every conversation is lighthearted. Sometimes you need to discuss serious topics, conflicts, or deep emotions. Here's how to handle those moments with confidence and care. Stay calm and composed. Emotions escalate when you do. Acknowledge the other person's feelings. I can see why this is important to you. Use soft, open body language. No crossing arms, no aggressive gestures. Focus on solutions, not just problems. How can we move forward from here? Difficult conversations don't have to be battles. When handled correctly, they can lead to stronger relationships and deeper trust. Real-life story: how one conversation changed everything. In 2015, a young entrepreneur named Alex Banayan wanted advice from a billionaire. But he had no connections. So, he used one powerful conversation technique. He found a shared interest with the billionaire. He asked a thoughtful question that made them think. He listened deeply and built rapport. The result? That one conversation turned into a mentorship. Alex went on to write a best-selling book and built an incredible career, all because of one great conversation. How to apply this in your life? Starting today, initiate more conversations. Even small talk builds confidence. Use open-ended questions. Encourage deeper discussions. Make people feel heard and valued. Give them your full attention. Stay calm in silences or difficult moments. Confidence grows in discomfort because when you master conversations, you build stronger relationships, better opportunities, and endless confidence. Final takeaway: the power of one conversation. Your next conversation could change your life. A casual chat could turn into a friendship. A meeting could open the door to a new career. A deep conversation could heal a relationship. So, let's make every interaction meaningful. Speak with confidence. Listen with intention. Connect deeply. Because one great conversation can change everything. Chapter 11: The Power of Emotional Intelligence in Communication. Emotions drive every conversation. The way you speak, the way you listen, the way people respond to you. It's all influenced by emotions. But most people don't realize this. They focus only on words and logic, while ignoring the emotional undercurrent of every interaction. Here's the truth. If you can understand emotions, yours and others, you can master communication. If you know how to control your emotions, you can stay calm under pressure. If you can read other people's emotions, you can build deeper connections. This is called emotional intelligence, EQ. And it's one of the most powerful communication skills you can develop. In this chapter, we'll break down what emotional intelligence is, how it affects your conversations, how to control your emotions under pressure, how to read people and respond with emotional awareness. Because when you understand emotions, you understand people. And when you understand people, you can connect, influence, and communicate at the highest level. What is emotional intelligence, EQ? Emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize your own emotions, manage your emotions effectively, understand the emotions of others, respond in a way that builds trust and connection. People with high EQ are great listeners, strong leaders, emotionally stable under pressure, able to resolve conflicts with ease. The best communicators in the world have mastered EQ. The 4 pillars of emotional intelligence in communication. To master emotional intelligence, you need to develop 4 key skills.
1.
Self-awareness, understanding your own emotions. Before you can connect with others, you need to understand yourself. What triggers you? How do you react when stressed? What emotions influence your words and actions? Most people don't pause to recognize their emotions. They react impulsively instead of responding intelligently. Try this simple exercise. Next time you feel frustrated, anxious, or upset,
Pause. Take a deep breath.
name the emotion. I'm feeling irritated because. Ask yourself, is this emotion controlling my reaction? By becoming more aware of your emotions, you gain control over them. And when you control your emotions, you control your communication.
2.
Emotional control, staying calm under pressure. Ever lost your temper in a conversation? Someone criticizes you, and you snap. A heated discussion escalates into an argument. Stress makes you say something you regret. This happens because emotions overpower logic. But strong communicators? They don't let emotions control them. Here's how to stay calm under pressure. Pause before responding. Give yourself a few seconds to think. Focus on your breathing. Deep breathing calms your nervous system. Ask yourself, will this response help or hurt the conversation? Reframe the situation. Instead of reacting to criticism, see it as feedback. By mastering emotional control, you avoid unnecessary conflicts. Handle tough conversations with grace. Gain the respect of those around you. And, most importantly, You communicate with power.
3.
Social awareness. Reading people's emotions. Great communicators don't just listen to words. They pay attention to emotions. Is the person frustrated? Are they nervous? Are they feeling unheard? How to read people's emotions. Look at their body language. Crossed arms? Tension? Lack of eye contact. Listen to their tone. Are they speaking fast? Hesitant? Aggressive? Notice micro-expressions. A brief frown, a sigh, a forced smile. If someone is upset, don't ignore it. Instead, say, "You seem frustrated. Want to talk about it? I get the feeling this is really important to you." By acknowledging emotions, you show empathy, and empathy builds trust.
4.
Relationship management. Responding with emotional intelligence. What happens when emotions run high in a conversation? A disagreement turns into a heated argument. A minor issue explodes into a big conflict. A small miscommunication damages a relationship. But strong communicators diffuse tension instead of adding to it. How to respond with emotional intelligence. Validate their emotions. I understand why you feel that way. Stay calm, even if they're upset. Your calmness can de-escalate them. Find common ground. We may have different views, but we both want the best outcome. Use non-defensive language. Let's figure this out together. Instead of reacting emotionally, you respond with understanding and control. And that's the key to mastering emotional intelligence. Real-life story: how emotional intelligence saved a business deal. In 2010, a young entrepreneur was negotiating with a powerful investor. The investor was cold and dismissive. He criticized the entrepreneur's ideas. The deal was about to fall apart. But instead of getting defensive, the entrepreneur used emotional intelligence. He acknowledged the investor's concerns. "I see why you feel that way." He stayed calm under pressure. No emotional reactions. He found common ground. "We both want this to succeed." The result? The investor changed his attitude. They closed the deal. And that entrepreneur? He went on to build a multi-million-dollar company. Because he didn't let emotions control the conversation. He controlled the emotions. How to apply this in your life? Starting today, be more aware of your emotions. What triggers you? How do you react? Practice staying calm under pressure. Breathe, pause, think before reacting. Read people's emotions. Body language, tone, facial expressions. Respond with empathy, not defensiveness. Validate emotions, find solutions. Because when you master emotional intelligence, you master every conversation. Final takeaway: control your emotions, control your communication. Communication isn't just about words. It's about feelings, energy, and emotional awareness. Your emotions shape how people perceive you. Your ability to read emotions helps you connect deeply. Your emotional control allows you to handle any conversation with power. So let's commit to this. No more letting emotions control your reactions. No more ignoring the emotions of others. No more reacting without thinking. Because when you master emotional intelligence, you unlock the highest level of communication. Chapter 12: The Power of Influence and Leadership Communication. True leaders don't just talk. They inspire. They motivate. They influence. They don't just give information, they make people feel something. They don't just command, they build trust and loyalty. They don't just speak, they lead through communication. Here's the truth. If you can master leadership communication, you can inspire action. If you can influence people, you can create change. If you can communicate like a leader, you will earn respect, trust, and opportunities. And in this chapter, we'll unlock how great leaders communicate differently, the secrets of influence and persuasion, how to inspire, motivate, and lead with your words, how to speak in a way that makes people follow you. Because when you communicate like a leader, people listen, people trust you, people follow your vision. What separates a leader's communication from everyone else's? Have you ever noticed how some people command a room the moment they speak? It's not about being the loudest. It's not about using fancy words. It's about how they communicate. The difference? Ordinary communicators talk to inform. Leaders communicate to inspire. Let's break it down. The 4 pillars of leadership communication. To communicate like a leader, you need to master 4 key elements.
1.
Speak with clarity. Make your message simple and powerful. Great leaders don't use complicated language.
They know that.
Confusion kills influence. Simplicity makes ideas powerful. People remember what they understand. Example. Instead of, we need to optimize operational efficiencies to maximize growth trajectories. Say, we need to work smarter, not harder, to grow faster. Instead of, client engagement strategies must be reassessed to increase conversion metrics. Say, we need to find better ways to connect with our customers. Clear, simple communication equals powerful communication. Want to be a leader? Make your message easy to understand.
2.
Speak with confidence. Own your words and presence. People follow those who sound like they believe in themselves. How to speak with confidence. Slow down. Fast talkers seem nervous. Confident speakers control their pace. Lower your pitch. A deep, steady voice commands respect. Eliminate weak words. No more, I think, maybe. Stand tall. Good posture equals instant authority. Maintain steady eye contact. This builds trust and connection. Pro tip. If you don't feel confident, fake it. Science shows that acting confident creates real confidence. So, even if you're nervous, stand tall. Speak clearly. Project certainty. People will believe in you because you believe in yourself.
3.
Speak with emotion. Move people to action. People don't make decisions based on logic. They decide based on emotion, then justify with logic. That's why leaders don't just state facts, they tell stories. Martin Luther King Jr. didn't say, I have a plan. He said, I have a dream. Emotion moves people. Want to inspire? Use personal stories. People relate to real experiences. Use passionate tone and energy. If you don't sound excited, why should they be? Use powerful pauses. Silence adds impact. Speak from the heart, and people will follow you.
4.
Speak with vision. Make people see the future. Leaders don't just talk about what is. They paint a picture of what could be. They don't just explain, they inspire. They don't just describe problems, they offer solutions. They don't just state facts, they create a vision people want to be part of. Example. Weak leadership communication. Sales are down. We need to do better. Strong leadership communication. We have an opportunity to turn this around. Imagine where we could be in 6 months if we work together to fix this. See the difference? The first statement is uninspiring. The second paints a vision of success. Want to influence people? Make them see the future you believe in. The science of influence. How to make people say yes. Great leaders know how to persuade. They get people to say yes to ideas. They make people take action. They inspire others to follow them.
How?
By using these proven influence techniques.
1.
Because technique. Give a clear reason. People are more likely to say yes if you give a reason. Example. Weak. Can you finish this report today? Strong. Can you finish this report today? Because it's needed for an important client meeting. Research shows that adding because increases compliance by over 50%. Always give a reason when persuading others.
2.
The social proof principle. Show that others agree. People follow what others are doing. 90% of top performers use this strategy. Companies like Apple and Tesla follow this approach. Most people in our team agree this is the best direction. When people see that others believe in an idea, they trust it more. Use social proof to strengthen your influence.
3.
The scarcity principle. Make it feel urgent. People take action when they feel they might miss out. This opportunity won't be available forever. We have a limited time chance to make this happen. Now is the best time to act before the competition does. Want people to move fast? Create urgency. Real-life story. How one speech changed a nation. In 1940, Winston Churchill had to rally a country on the verge of war. England was outnumbered. People were afraid. Defeat seemed inevitable. But Churchill didn't use fear. He used inspiration. His words? We shall fight on the beaches, we shall fight on the landing grounds, we shall never surrender. The result? He turned fear into strength. He gave people hope. He inspired a nation to fight and win. That's the power of leadership communication. How to apply this in your life? Starting today, speak with clarity. Make your message simple and powerful. Speak with confidence. Own your voice and presence. Speak with emotion. Move people with stories and passion. Speak with vision. Show people the future they can believe in. Because when you communicate like a leader, people listen. People trust you. People follow you. Final takeaway: your voice has power. Great leaders aren't just born. They are made through powerful communication. The way you speak determines how people see you. The way you communicate determines the impact you make. Your words have the power to inspire, lead, and change lives. So let's commit to this. Speak with strength. Lead with influence. Use your words to create impact. Because when you master leadership communication, you step into your full power. Chapter 13. Mastering Digital and Virtual Communication. The world has changed. Business meetings happen over Zoom. Important conversations take place through emails. Relationships are built through texts and social media. Digital communication is now a part of everyday life. But here's the problem. Most people struggle with online communication. Messages get misunderstood. Virtual meetings feel awkward. Texts lack tone and emotion. Here's the truth. If you can master digital communication, you can build strong relationships, even without face-to-face interaction. If you know how to write clearly and effectively, you can influence, persuade, and lead from anywhere. If you can command presence in virtual spaces, you can stand out and make an impact. In this chapter, we'll break down how to communicate clearly in emails, texts, and online messages. How to make virtual meetings engaging and impactful. How to maintain a strong online presence and reputation. How to avoid misunderstandings in digital conversations. Because when you master digital communication, you stay ahead in today's connected world. The biggest challenge of digital communication. The biggest challenge? No body language. In face-to-face communication, your tone, facial expressions, and gestures add meaning. People can see your emotions and respond accordingly. But in digital communication, your words are left open to interpretation. A joke might sound rude. A simple message might seem cold or impersonal. That's why mastering clarity and tone is crucial. Let's break it down.
1.
Writing clearly and effectively in digital communication. Your words carry more weight in emails, texts, and online chats. A well-written email can open doors. A poorly written message can close opportunities. The key? Write in a way that is clear, no confusion. Concise, no fluff. Professional, no unnecessary slang or typos. Example: a bad email. Hey, I need that report ASAP. Let me know when it's done. What's wrong? No context. Sounds demanding. Lacks warmth. Example: A strong email. Hi, name. I hope you're doing well. Could you send me the report by specific deadline? Let me know if you need any help or additional information. Thanks. Your name, asterisk. Clear and polite.
Provides context.
Encourages response. Pro tip. Use bullet points to make emails easier to read. Add a subject line that is specific and clear. End with a call to action, what you want them to do. Want to stand out? Be the person who writes emails that are easy to understand.
2.
Mastering tone in text messages and online chats. Texting is fast, but tone gets lost. Example, same message, different tones. Neutral. Okay. Friendly. Okay. Cold. Okay. Rude. Okay. How to make sure your tone is clear. Use polite language. Would you mind? Instead of do this. Use exclamation points or emojis when appropriate to soften the tone. If the topic is sensitive, call instead of texting. Instead of we need to talk. Say, hey, can we chat later? I have something important to discuss. Remember, text shouldn't sound cold or robotic. A little warmth in your words goes a long way. 3. Making virtual meetings engaging and impactful. Zoom fatigue is real. Most virtual meetings are
boring,
unfocused, draining. But great communicators make virtual meetings feel real. How to command presence in virtual meetings. Turn your camera on. People connect with faces, not blank screens. Sit up straight. Posture affects how others perceive you. Use hand gestures. This makes you look more engaged. Make eye contact with the camera. This mimics real conversation. How to keep virtual meetings productive. Start with an agenda. What's the goal of the meeting? Keep it concise. No one wants to sit through an hour of small talk. Encourage participation. Let's hear your thoughts on this. Use names to engage people. John, what do you think about this idea? Pro tip. If you're leading the meeting, speak with energy. If you sound bored, your audience will be bored. If you sound enthusiastic, people will stay engaged. Want to stand out in virtual meetings? Be the person who communicates with clarity, confidence, and presence.
4.
Managing your online reputation and digital presence. Everything you post online stays online. Your emails, your social media posts, your text messages. It can all be screenshotted, shared, and seen by anyone. That's why strong communicators protect their online reputation. How to build a positive digital presence. Be intentional about what you post. Would you want a future employer to see this? Respond to criticism professionally. Never argue online. Think before you send emails or texts. Once it's sent, you can't take it back. Pro tip. Before posting anything, ask, would I be proud of this 5 years from now? Before sending a message, ask, is this clear, respectful, and necessary? A strong digital presence can open doors. A bad digital reputation can close them permanently. Use online communication wisely. Real-life story, how a single email changed a career. A young professional was applying for a job. They wrote a clear, polite, and engaging email to the hiring manager. They followed up professionally and respectfully. They used warmth and confidence in their tone. The result? They got an interview. They stood out from hundreds of applicants. They landed their dream job. One well-written email changed their life. That's the power of effective digital communication. How to apply this in your life? Starting today, write clearer, more professional emails. Be intentional with your tone in texts and messages. Command presence in virtual meetings. Protect your digital reputation. Because in the digital world, your words represent you. Make sure they build trust, respect, and opportunities. Final takeaway. Communicate powerfully in every digital space. Digital communication isn't going away. It's growing. The way you write emails affects your career. The way you text affects your relationships. The way you present yourself online shapes your reputation. So let's commit to this. Be clear. Be intentional. Be professional. Because when you master digital communication, you stand out, connect better, and succeed in today's world. Chapter 14. The Art of Negotiation and Persuasive Communication. Life is a negotiation. Asking for a raise? That's a negotiation. Convincing a client? That's persuasion. Trying to get your kids to eat vegetables? That's negotiation too. Every day you negotiate. Some people struggle with it. They feel uncomfortable asking for what they want. They avoid conflict and accept less than they deserve. But great communicators? They know how to persuade without pressure. They influence people while making them feel good about it. They get what they want without being aggressive. Here's the truth. If you can negotiate well, you can succeed in any area of life. If you can persuade, you can win people over effortlessly. If you know how to influence, you can achieve more in life and business. And in this chapter, we'll break down the psychology of negotiation and persuasion, how to ask for what you want and get it, how to negotiate with confidence, how to win without making others feel like they lost. Because when you master negotiation, you create more opportunities, build better relationships, and succeed faster. The psychology of negotiation and persuasion. Why do some people always seem to get what they want, while others feel like they never win? It's not about luck. It's about understanding human behavior. The key? People don't just make decisions based on facts. They make decisions based on emotion, trust, and psychology. Let's break down the most powerful negotiation and persuasion techniques.
1.
The win-win mindset, not win-lose. Most people think negotiation is about winning at all costs. I need to win, and they need to lose. But the best negotiators think differently. They focus on creating a win-win solution. They make the other person feel good about saying yes. They build long-term trust, not just short-term wins. Example. Instead of I need a discount or I won't buy, say, if we can adjust the price slightly, I'd be happy to commit today. The key? Make both sides feel like they're winning.
2.
The power of silence outlasts the awkward pause. Most people fear silence. In negotiations, they rush to fill the silence. They talk too much, weakening their position. But strong negotiators use silence to their advantage.
How?
Make your offer, then stop talking. Let the other person break the silence. Most of the time, they'll reveal valuable information or agree. Example. I'd love to work together. Can we adjust the budget to $10,000? Then say nothing. Don't rush to fill the silence. Most people can't handle silence. They'll start negotiating against themselves. Try it. It works.
3.
The yes ladder technique. Get them to agree in steps. People are more likely to say yes when they've already said yes before. This is called commitment bias. Once people commit to small agreements, they feel compelled to stay consistent. How to use it? Ask small, easy questions first. Get small yes before the big yes. Example, negotiating a salary. Step 1. Would you agree that I've done great work this year? Yes. Step 2. Do you value employees who go above and beyond?
Yes.
Step 3. Then would a salary adjustment make sense for my contributions? More likely to say yes. Start small. Build agreement. Then go for the big ask.
4.
The give and take strategy. Always ask for more than you want. Pro negotiation tip. Ask for more than what you actually want. So when you compromise, you still win. Example. If you want a $10,000 raise, first ask for $12,000. When they negotiate down, you compromise at $10,000. It feels like a win for them, but you still got what you wanted. Always start higher than your actual goal.
5.
The "I have other options" effect. People respect those who don't seem desperate. When you show that you have other options, you gain leverage. The moment someone thinks you need them, you lose power. Example, negotiating a job offer. Instead of, "I really need this job. What can you offer?" Say, "I'm considering a few opportunities, but I really like this role. Can we discuss a better offer?" Confidence equals power. Desperation equals weakness. Never act like you have no other choice. It weakens your position. 6. The time pressure technique. Create urgency. People take action when they feel time is limited. If they think they have forever to decide, they won't act. How to use it? Instead of, "Can you let me know whenever?" say, "If we can finalize this today, I'm happy to move forward." Instead of, "Let's discuss it whenever you have time." Say, "I have another opportunity on the table, so I'd love to make a decision by Friday." Urgency makes people act faster. Real-life story: how a simple negotiation changed everything. A young entrepreneur wanted $20,000 in funding for her business, but the investor only offered $15,000. Instead of accepting, she used 3 negotiation strategies. She asked for more, $25,000, so when they compromised, she still won. She used silence, waiting for the investor to speak first. She created urgency, saying she had other investors interested. The result? She got the full $20,000. The investor felt like they got a fair deal too. That's the power of negotiation. How to apply this in your life? Starting today, negotiate with a win-win mindset. Both sides should feel like they win. Use silence to your advantage. Don't rush to fill pauses. Get small yes before the big yes. Commitment bias works. Always ask for more than you want, so you can compromise at your actual goal. Never act desperate. Confidence attracts opportunity. Create urgency. Make them act fast. Because when you learn to negotiate, you don't just get what you want. You earn more, succeed faster, and gain respect. Final takeaway: negotiation is a superpower. Everything in life is negotiable. Your salary, your time, your opportunities. The difference between those who win and those who lose? Winners ask. Winners negotiate. Winners communicate with confidence. So let's commit to this. Never settle for less than you deserve. Negotiate with intelligence and confidence. Use persuasion to create opportunities. Because when you master negotiation, you control your future. Chapter 15. The final steps to communication mastery. Great communicators aren't born. They're made. Through practice. Through awareness. Through learning the right skills and applying them daily. And now you have those skills. Over the past chapters, you've discovered how to communicate with confidence, clarity, and power. How to listen deeply and build trust. How to master body language, tone, and persuasion. How to navigate conflict, criticism, and tough conversations. How to negotiate, influence, and lead with your words. But knowledge without action is useless. The real question is, will you use these skills? This final chapter will show you exactly how to apply everything you've learned. Because when you master communication, you master your relationships, your career, and your future. The 5 habits of unstoppable communicators. If you want to become a master communicator, you don't just need knowledge. You need consistent habits. Here are 5 powerful habits that will transform the way you communicate. 1. The 24-hour reflection rule. Learn from every interaction. Every conversation is a lesson. After each important conversation, take a few minutes to reflect. Ask yourself, what went well? What could I have done better? Did I listen enough? Or did I dominate the conversation? Why this works? Small improvements compound over time. You become more self-aware. You develop better instincts for future conversations. Pro tip: keep a communication journal to track your progress.
2.
The 2-second pause technique. Think before you speak. Most people speak without thinking. This leads to misunderstandings, conflicts, and regrets. The solution? Before responding, take 2 seconds to pause. Use that moment to choose your words wisely. Adjust your tone. Avoid saying something you'll regret. This one habit will instantly make you a more thoughtful and respected communicator.
3.
The daily listening challenge. Train your listening skills. Every day, pick one person to truly listen to. Give them 100% of your attention. No interruptions. No distractions. No thinking about what you'll say next. Why this works? You build deeper connections. People will trust and respect you more. You become a master of reading emotions and nonverbal cues. Most people listen to reply. Great communicators listen to understand.
4.
The confident voice exercise. Train your speaking power. Record yourself speaking for 1 minute every day. Play it back and analyze. Is my voice strong and clear? Am I speaking too fast or too slow? Do I sound confident or hesitant? Over time, your voice will become stronger, clearer, and more persuasive. Pro tip: read powerful speeches out loud to train your vocal presence.
5.
The one bold conversation rule. Step outside your comfort zone. Every week, have one conversation that challenges you. It could be speaking up in a meeting, starting a conversation with a stranger, asking for something you want but feel nervous about. Over time, this eliminates fear and builds natural confidence. Because the more you step outside your comfort zone, the more powerful and fearless you become. How to keep improving, even after this book. Mastering communication is a lifelong journey. Here's how to keep leveling up. Surround yourself with great communicators. Watch how they speak, listen, and lead. Study the best speakers. Watch TED Talks. Listen to world-class communicators. Read books on communication, leadership, and persuasion. Keep practicing. Every conversation is an opportunity to improve. Real-life story. The person who transformed their life through communication. In 2010, a young man was terrified of speaking. He avoided social interactions. He struggled in interviews. He felt unheard and invisible. One day, he made a decision. He would work on his communication skills every day. He would practice speaking, listening, and leading. He would become a confident communicator no matter what. Years later, he became a respected entrepreneur. He led teams, spoke at conferences, and built a powerful network. His ability to communicate clearly, confidently, and persuasively changed his entire life. That person was me. And if I can do it, so can you. Your final challenge: take action today. If you take just one thing from this book, let it be this. Communication is your superpower. Your words shape your success. Every conversation is an opportunity to grow. So, let's commit to action right now. What's one communication skill you will start improving today? What's one conversation you will have differently this week? How will you apply what you've learned? Because knowledge means nothing without action. And the moment you start using these skills, you will gain confidence. You will build stronger relationships. You will unlock new opportunities. The journey doesn't end here. It's just beginning. So go out there. Speak with confidence. Listen with intention. Lead with your words. Because you are now a master of communication. And the world is ready to hear your voice. Conclusion: your journey to communication mastery. Congratulations! You've now completed the art of communication. You have the skills to speak with confidence and clarity, listen deeply and connect with others, persuade, negotiate, and lead with your words. Handle any conversation, personal, professional, or digital. But remember, Mastery comes from practice. Every conversation is an opportunity to grow. The more you use these skills, the more powerful you become. So, let's make a promise. To never stop improving. To communicate with purpose, power, and authenticity. To use our words to create impact, influence, and positive change. Because when you master communication, you don't just change how you speak. You change your life. So go out there and use your voice to create something great. The world is listening. If you enjoy this audiobook, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new chapter. Your support keeps this going. Thank you.